when is it time and how do I, that's what I want to cover today. How do I then transition? Because there is a difference between being an independent agent and having a true business.
Yep.
Having a business that is growing and, taking off and really just killing it.
Yep. Everybody glorifies entrepreneurship, but nobody teaches anyone. They did not teach me in college how to own and operate a business. Most people scale a business by making a bunch of mistakes, right? Turning losing into lessons, right? All the things. And I'm going to talk about the strategies that I believe can help you get to 7 figures.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Medicare Sales Playbook. I'm your host, Dallas Keithley. And man, this has been a blast. We are on episode 30-ish something. I have no idea. I just come in, sit down, Adam and Celine in the production booth make me look good. And we talk about how to help you grow your Medicare business one play at a time. The secret is just waking up every day and grinding and hustling. And we help you do that smarter. We help you do that more efficiently. And today I'm joined by someone that really, it's kind of their fault that I'm still in the insurance business. And so I got some beef with that. Now, I'm very grateful to our guest today. Helped me in the insurance business more than probably anybody, maybe his dad right there with him. But today we're joined by Mr. Cody Askins. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome back, buddy.
Kaboom. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah,
Appreciate
second
you, man. Good
time
to be
on
back.
here.
It took me like 12 years to get on the first time, but second time was a little quicker. That's good.
Listen,
I was like, you're already making round twos. I love this.
Yeah, we're re-scraping.
Is it you're just having everybody back on second time, or
No,
like, hey, I made the top
no.
cut? I don't know.
No, I'm glad when they let me back on, honestly, as the host. So
I love it. Also, dude, I think it's really cool to you've literally got your daughter Celine, who is like 13 going on 30. I don't know exactly. She's like 17 years old.
She will be in a couple weeks.
See, right? And she's over there helping produce the show, learning behind the scenes. I can see her through the glass with her headset on, listening to me talk about her, smiling. So cool, dude. I love seeing you guys do this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to watch the dad too,
cool.
To be honest.
So, really cool.
Yeah. Well, today, man, let's jump right in. I want to talk about how to get to the next level. We talk to new insurance agents a lot.
Yeah.
I want to talk to that agent that, man, you've got your system figured out.
Yeah.
You've been busting your tail. You feel like you're working as hard as you possibly can and you've hit the ceiling. Because my first thing I wrote down is everyone has a ceiling. I don't care who you are. We know agents personally that are writing 1,000 apps a year, right?
You think they have a ceiling, or you think they're creating a ceiling?
I think everyone has a ceiling.
What do you mean
is that going to be our first? Well, because there's only so much time in a day.
What's funny is he's about the only person I disagree with on video, just because I enjoy doing it. We used to do a radio show forever, and if you didn't listen to the first episode we did was like 400 years ago, but it was like it was last year, but it was time
is not your strong suit.
No,
12 years,
ADHD, 400 years. It was on like, hey, how 0 to 6 figures and success and mindset. We spoke to more new agents last time.
Yeah.
So I love that. Hey, we're going to take it to the next level today.
Yeah, and to answer your question, yes, I believe everyone has a ceiling. Now, I think everyone's ceiling is higher than they think.
Okay.
But there's only so much time in a day. You can only write so many apps by yourself.
Yeah.
Before you have to go out and find help or redevelop a system or
I agree with that part
it.
For sure.
Yeah. So when I say everyone has a ceiling, I would say
you guys today. He's capping you guys today.
I hear no cap all the time. I have no idea what that means.
Celine would definitely understand
Celine,
that.
help me out later.
I don't know.
No cap. Do we have cap? No cap. I have no clue.
Is it caps lock? Is it a keyboard thing?
Yes. Are we typing? Does that mean you're yelling? We're going off the rails.
We are. You never know what you're going to get with us.
Exactly.
The good news is we are going to have fun and entertain you today.
And we'll go somewhere.
That is for sure.
We're going to entertain us, which is really all that matters.
And try to entertain Celine a little.
A little bit.
She's probably going to be the hardest to entertain. We can entertain her. We can entertain you guys, the old people listening today. Okay.
Yeah, we're reaching all age demographics. So let's say I'm out there and I'm grinding away.
Yeah.
I'm getting to a point where I'm writing, let's say 20, 30, 40 apps a month.
Cool.
When is it time and how do I, that's what I want to cover today. How do I then transition? Because there is a difference between being an independent agent and having a true business.
Yep.
Having a business
Very
that
different.
is growing and, taking off and really just killing it.
Yep. Everybody glorifies entrepreneurship, but nobody teaches anyone. They did not teach me in college how to own and operate a business.
Yeah. My favorite class was theater in college. Like that's, it's not come in handy. I quote a lot of movies, I guess.
I mean, you are pretty funny.
Sure. But,
at times we'll say, what's funny is here's this crazy side note. We were in Houston at a road show one time, April's road show. And I said, hey, he was talking about, hey, I really want to find like a local comedy club and try comedy. Right. So I'm telling on Dallas today.
Yeah.
And so we had about 15, 20 minutes to kill. I was like, hey, where's Dallas? He's in the back of the room. I said, hey, come up here, buddy, do some comedy. And everybody, please welcome up to the stage, back to the stage, Dallas Keithley. And he's like, what the freak do you want me to say? I'm like, I don't know. You always say you want to do comedy.
Go.
I said, be funny, go. And he's like,
and that's why we're not allowed back in Houston.
Yeah, exactly. You're right about the whole, because it's like, I was never taught how to actually operate a business.
Right.
Most people scale a business by making a bunch of mistakes, right? Turning, losing into lessons, right? All the things. I am actually, it's funny, you didn't know this, but I'm actually writing a new book called 6 to 7 Figures.
Oh, nice.
Perfect for today.
Look at that.
I'm meeting with the team twice a week.
Yeah, click right there to get it. Celine, put that right there.
That's right. That's right. It's not available yet, but it'll be available in a few months.
She can do it.
And the first book was 0 to 6. The second one, the next progression, 6 to 7. And I'm going to talk about the strategies that I believe can help you get to 7 figures. If I look at, we've been able, because we built a brand, we've been able to take 7 companies to 7 figures in about 7 years. Okay.
Nice.
Now, we've shot some of them. Some of them don't exist anymore, but some of them do, right?
Right.
Secure Agent Leads and Secure Agent Marketing, they don't exist. Secure Agent Mentor doesn't exist, right? However, we've been able to do that. And I believe there's certain strategies that most people are ignoring. Here's a big one, okay? I believe there's really there's like 8 strategies I normally train on in like our Power Player Masterminds. There's 2 I like to talk about today. One, and I love acronyms and alliterations, right? So I got to keep that going today. I was at an event in North Carolina a couple weeks ago. I've been like 7 events in like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You're freaking all over the place. I think you travel more than me, which is rare.
Helps my marriage.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure Lori loves that. Well, maybe she does. I don't know. Next time I see her, I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
Should probably be, I don't know, maybe tomorrow. No, maybe not tomorrow, but someday soon. I forget what day we're in.
I have questions.
We're not going to go there. Yeah. First thing, though, is I was in an event, and there was a lady named Ashley. And she walked up after I spoke at this event. And she said, and I love telling stories. Facts tell, stories sell. Jesus always spoke in parables. I think stories are a great way to capture people's attention. Ashley walks up to me after I speak, and she's like, I want some time with you. I'm like, okay, let's talk right now. She said, I made $1.2 million in 2021. I'm like, oh, wow, that's really good. Congratulations, that's great. She's like, I'm like, okay, keep talking. She said, I made $1.2 million in 2022. I'm like, okay. She said, I made $1.2 million in 2023. She said, guess how much money I'm going to make in 2024?
I'm going to go 1.2.
She's on pace to make $1.2 million again. You say she has a cap, right? She's at least reaching a cap, and she's leveled off 4 years in a row. She said, I need your help. I said, well, without even asking any questions, and I did, but I said, without asking any questions or looking at your business at all, there are 2 specific things that are holding you back right now, and I'm 100% certain of it. She's like, really? I'm like, I'm positive. She said, bro, I just hired someone for like $50,000 to coach me. I said, I don't know if I'm going to give you the same things they're going to tell you, but I'm not going to charge you to coach you, but I'm going to, because I don't love coach people anyway. When I do, I charge $5,000 an hour because I don't love it. Here's 2 things that are holding you back. Okay. Number 1, I guarantee you at $1.2 million a year, you're very profitable and you don't have much staff. She said, that's true.
Yeah.
The first one's time.
Right.
Time is your most valuable asset. Most entrepreneurs become business owners and they become successful making money because they do it all. But most business owners and 96% of companies don't make 7 figures. So she's in the top 4%. That's great. But most business owners, agency owners, they're control freaks. They have no team. They think they do everything. They think they do it all better than everybody else, and they don't delegate, right? And so I said, I bet there's a bunch of things that you are still doing that you should not be doing.
Wow. So
that's the first one.
Well, okay. So I want to break down a couple things you just said. One, is it hard to, there's a lot of people out there that are sitting there saying, if I ever made $1.2 million in a year, I would be completely happy. I think what we miss a lot of times is for her, it was not about the money.
Right.
If I had to guess, I don't know.
Because $1.2 million is great. It's amazing. She's living an awesome freaking life.
Yeah.
She gave me a tour of her home on Zoom. Like, trust me, she's doing all right.
But it's not about that for her.
No.
She could be making $8.9 million. It's the fact that she has reached a point and she can't get past it.
Correct.
I don't care if it was $100,000 a year. If she was living on that and she would have said, well, I'm at a point and I want to get past it. 100%. So don't miss that. Don't sit there and don't be that guy in the comments and be like $1.2 million. She's greedy. She's not greedy.
No.
She just wants to be able to take it to the next level.
Yeah. And I'm not speaking to the person today that's making 12 grand or that's brand new. I'm really not. Now, are you going to hear some stuff that you can use later? Sure. Maybe some things you can use now. Sure. But we're talking to the person that is making, like our power players that are making six figures, multiple six figures, mid six figures, even high six figures. Or you're making more, but you've leveled off. The strategies we're going to teach you today will help you take it to the next level, not level off, and finally feel like, okay, I don't have as much of a ceiling anymore and I can grow.
The other thing that I heard is you have to almost become a different person, because in order to grow a business by yourself to $1.2 million, you have to be a freak of nature at several different things.
Yeah.
You have to be a great salesman, a great marketer, a great service person, all that stuff. You have to be great.
And she's a great recruiter in her example. Yeah.
But then to let that go. I've probably said this at least 17 times on this podcast, but I'm going to say it again. One of my favorite quotes or favorite stories was Red Auerbach, the general manager of the Celtics, won multiple championships, all that. He said one time, Michael Jordan will never be a great GM. He said he won't. Because he said he will expect the player that he will expect his players to be him. And he said the people just aren't Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right. So he said he will, and he's proved that. Michael Jordan bought into, who was it? Was it the Wizards? No, Bobcats.
Yeah, those like the Hornets, Bobcats, whatever.
Yeah,
Charlotte.
Hornets, Charlotte bought into
Adam
them.
pointing us, yes.
Yeah,
confirmed.
And just
fact checked in real time.
He's cut our kid.
It is political week. You know what I mean? So
never really took them anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it. I'm like, man, Red Auerbach was, and Red said that 20 years before Michael became a GM.
Wow.
But just said, look, those guys can't do it. So you're talking to somebody that is a control freak. How do you get them to say, okay, you've got to relinquish some of that?
Yeah, I mean, if you feel overwhelmed, stressed, now I'm becoming a therapist, counselor, live on the show. If you feel like, bro, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I've got too much to do, I need more help, but there's no good people, I can't find good people, dude. In these offices, we have a bunch of freaking good people. I have never told myself, because again, it's a ceiling. You're limiting yourself. It's a belief. I've never said it's hard to hire people. Is it easy? I don't even do it anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's easy, but I've never said it's really hard to find good people. Dude, we found so many freaking good people in little bitty Springfield, Missouri that have exploded our brand to a whole nother level because at some point I had to get out of my own way. I'll give you a real example. YouTube, year one, and you've done it way quicker. Congratulations. 351 YouTube subscribers. My first year. You can ask Adam. It's pretty freaking bad, man. The Life Insurance Academy, he said it's horrible. It's awful. He said, you're terrible. No, he said it's hard.
Adam.
No, he said it's hard. If you're doing it yourself and you're just starting, dude, you don't know anything. It's hard, right? It's brutal. Life Insurance Academy grew way quicker. MSP grew way quicker, right? Second year, whatever, right? 16, 17, middle of 2018 when we hired Dylan. I'm sitting at like 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers. In like 2.5 years of doing content almost every day, that's not good. I finally got out of my own way and found someone who was better. Now, dude, Life Insurance Academy's channel wouldn't be where it is without Adam. It wouldn't be. It's just not possible because guess what? Dude, Roger, Chris, and Zach can't edit video to save their freaking life, and they shouldn't ever learn how to do it.
Right.
The point is, there are when you find other people around you that can do things better than you, you have to surround yourself with incredible. My dad talks about it all the time, right? He probably talked about it on this podcast at some point. Time is your most valuable asset, and you are still, as an agency owner, as a business owner, you are still, like, I don't even check my emails anymore because I caught myself checking my email like 14 times a day. Dude, I freaking hate email. I think email is like the worst communications platform in the world. I love sending them. I hate receiving them. I do. Yeah. But like I have hired people to do things so that I can do the things that will help our business grow the most. So I told her, dude, I guarantee. She's like, I said, what's your team look like? She says, well, I have a couple of VAs. I'm like, dude, $1.2 million. That ain't enough.
Right.
Ain't enough. You are managing instead of trying to grow. When you're trying to like manage it, like Tim Grover says, if you put a pile of crap together, you put all your crap together, guess what you have is a big pile of crap. You know what I mean? Like you are managing when you should be trying to grow. And most people are just like, I got to keep this together. I got to keep the train on the tracks. It's like, dude, I've made so many freaking mistakes, but dude, I'm glad I made them.
Yeah. And when it comes to hiring people and stuff like that, what I've watched you do, what I've watched your dad do, one, it takes humility because you have to say, dude, you're better than that than I am.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yes.
That's a great thing.
Yes.
Two.
Ego. I mean, what pride comes before a fall, right?
Yeah.
Start putting some Bible verses. Dude, ego gets in the way, man.
Every time.
So much.
The other thing is what we have found is a lot of times it's not that we have the wrong people. The book Good to Great, a large portion of it is you don't have the wrong people. You have them on the wrong seat on the bus. It's finding, okay, this guy sucks at this. Let's put him over here. And then they just take off and excel and enjoy it and stuff like that. So,
yeah, man. I mean, you're buddies with Brett in my office, dude. He started on our sales team.
I can't imagine Brett as a salesperson.
He started out on our sales team.
Can't even
now
the dude does not like talking to people.
Yeah, does all the tech and ads. And, manages an engineering team and all that.
Kills it.
Yeah, he does a really good job. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. First is time.
Okay.
Second is traffic. I normally say attention. We'll use
Let's
T's.
go T's.
We'll say traffic. Most businesses do not have enough traffic. When I think about like during COVID and restaurants are like closing their doors, it wasn't because of COVID. It wasn't.
Right.
It was a lack of traffic. Because guess what Metropolitan Grill did on Battlefield? They started placing curbside delivery orders.
Yeah.
Lauren and I started because other people weren't. We started getting food from there every week. That was expensive, but it was convenient.
Yeah.
And we couldn't go in, so we picked it up and they hand delivered it to our car. You could there was places where you could drive up. They would take your order. They would go in and bring it back out. Like people got more creative versus just saying, hey, there's a disease. I'm out. I'm done. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's the thing. Life is always going to change. The one constant is change.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when you and I started back Mutual of Omaha, 2000, what were you, 2007, 2008, something like that? 2010.
When I was interning,
Yeah. There was a gentleman in our office that was a big producer that all he ever talked about was, man, this business has gotten so hard. Mail is dead. Mail is dead. Mail is dead. He said, I used to be able to mail out 50 postcards and get 30 leads and just go right though. And that's all he talked about.
Yep.
It's the people. I love what your dad says all the time. He's like, right now in their office, they write a ton of Medicare. If they, and we had a scare this last year or two ago, right? Where they said, hey, we may not be paying overrides. We may not pay commission on Medicare.
Yeah.
I loved what your dad said. He stood up and said, okay, if they don't, we're going to survive. Like we will write, if pet insurance is now the thing to do, man, we're getting some dogs and writing some pets.
Yeah.
It's
you don't
adaptation.
Have to hang out with the pets though, do you?
I will. You do the RGA.
My wife and my team will.
Yeah, Lauren and I will hang out with them. But it's just that stopping with that mindset of, well, this has always worked. I'm just going to keep beating that horse. It's dead. It's laying on the ground.
I'm not going to innovate
rotting.
As it gets worse, I'm not going to try to change it or innovate or create. I'm just going to keep doing the same thing, and then I'm going to complain that it's not
beat
working.
The horse. That's it.
So much of that. And the traffic piece. It's not like. It's new blood into your business. I told her this, and this has been so true for me. If our business ever flatlines, which hers has, she's probably going to start listening to some of these stuff and be like, you're talking about me, right?
Yeah.
It is entirely because you do not have enough new blood coming into the system.
How many funnels, we always picture the lead networking, whatever, as a funnel. How many different pour-ins should people have into their funnel when it comes to traffic?
I believe you should have multiple, but if one is working really well, have more of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have about 2,000 to 3,000 new agents give us their contact information every month. Mm-hmm. We have about 20,000 who re-opt in, that are already in our system, in some way, reconvert, respond to an email, whatever, every month. I look at all that, our Kaboom leads, right? And this is a teaching moment, even though you should definitely be trying Kaboom leads, okay? We created it in March, around March 1st, pretty much. We have about 500 to 600 agents that will transact with us and will order leads in October. Our average order value is about $900. About 40% are coming back within 30 days. For leads, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
Crazy high. Number one, we're innovating. I could have just kept doing it the same boring old way that didn't work for years. And everybody could say, well, digital leads suck. Dude, digital leads with Kaboom don't freaking suck because we are innovating and trying. Also, we had just shy of 20,000 agents go to our website every single month in the last 30 days. So just a Kaboom site. That's unique visitors too. 19,874 insurance agents went to the kaboomleads.com website in the last 30 days. Ish. I'm a few off, but whatever, right? Close, just shy of 20K. I track all those things because traffic is super freaking important. I had an ad running for like 30 days where I was giving people a script. It was actually the Life Insurance Academy, like Final Expense Telesale script, right? I left the Life Insurance Academy logo on it, got permission and put our logo on it and said, hey, here's a free script. We had like 1,200 agents, new agents that were not in our system, give us contact information for like $1.50 a piece. Like $1,800, man. Like you need traffic. You need new blood. You need constant things working. Social media is one of the things that most people that are listening, I would say almost every single person that listens to this could be doing way more with social media.
Yeah.
And they are not maximized even close. There's over 5 billion people now actively on social media. There's been over 150 million new users the last 12 months. The average human spends 2 hours and 24 minutes a day, especially you, doing this. Just kidding, right? But there's times where we
says those are rookie numbers. You got to bump those numbers. You got to bump those numbers up.
Dude, that happens, right? There's days where I spend more time on social than I should. 100%. But the thing is, most people say, well, I don't think social is helping kids nowadays. And I don't think social's good. And I hate TikTok. It's owned by China and whatever, or China, right? Or like all this stuff, right? Okay, you could ignore it, complain about it, or just be a consumer, or you can be a creator and leverage it to help your world and your life. And in our case, dude, I've leaned in really freaking hard. Like I don't think anybody's put out more content on social media in the insurance industry in the last 9 years than Cody Askins. And guess what? I think if you remember right, you and I were trying to do a race to like 100 or 1,000 followers on Instagram way back in the day because I was stubborn and I didn't even have Instagram, right? Remember that?
Yeah,
we were.
I do. I remember that.
I've never said that before, right?
Yeah.
But I was stubborn about social. I never used Facebook in high school. I didn't even get on social. YouTube, I watched it, but I never put up a video. If you look at some of the biggest players in the marketing space and online, even in our industry, they were early adopters versus late adopters when it comes to like social media platforms.
Well, and so one word you said there that I saw time and time again was you said, I didn't get on social. I didn't get on Instagram. And we do that. We sit there and we say, well, if I'm not on it, that means that my audience isn't on it. And if I'm not using TikTok, because things I've heard.
Tim's got seniors, 700 seniors a week downloading a free guide. Old people on freaking TikTok.
Yeah. But it's like buying with your own pocketbook. I can't afford that, so surely the client can't either.
Yes.
It's setting the mindset of I don't do that, so they must not either.
100%.
I love that. So
we create a lot of the limiting beliefs in our life too.
Yeah.
We like make them up. We build this factory in our brain, and then we just like, we think things are true so that it must be true for everyone.
Must be. Yep, exactly. So we got time, we got traffic. He's given me all kinds of time signals. We're ignoring time today.
I think we have.
We got time.
We only have 2 hours and 30 minutes for sure. That's the most.
That's the most we can do.
Turn this into Joe Rogan's podcast really quick. Adam's will be like, Cody's never invited back for sure.
Time. That's why we're getting rid
Who
of him.
determines whether I get to come back? Adam, Celine, or you?
It's a conglomerate.
He says
this
you.
was Celine's call.
What if Celine's like, hey, you shouldn't have Cody back? Dallas is going to be like, man, maybe I shouldn't have him back. I don't know.
Well, that's the only reason you're here today. She said, I won't work for you if you don't have Celine on.
More than anyone else that she's been in the room with.
I'm getting a little bit jealous. I'm not going to lie. So time, traffic.
Yeah.
What's the next one? What's the next hindrance? It's got to be a T.
I'm going to have to make a T up because those are the main two. But here's one thing that I'll finish with because I talked about, this is part of my closing keynote at 8%. I think if you feel like you've leveled off, Lauren calls it the new. I said, hey, what's allowed us to expand and grow over the last 9 years? She said, you know what it is more than people think? And she said this. We were in the bathroom one day just talking. And she said, I was trying to prep for a talk. And so I always bounce ideas off her. She said, we have gotten access to new networks, new information, new people, new mentors. And she said, it's allowed us to expand our knowledge and our network and grow because we're constantly getting new access to new things and new people and new information that we didn't have access to before.
How do you get the new? Where do you find the new?
Dude, you got to get out of your comfort zone for it to ever happen at all. You've got to spend money that you've never spent. Like we spent $15,000 on GrowthCon tickets back in 2018. I'll give you a real cool example and a real story that will help us close this out in a cool way. I was at the Go High Level conference last week. I spoke at it. 1,000 entrepreneurs. There was some huge speakers. I had imposter syndrome. I'm freaking super nervous. I should not be talking. The lineup is stacked. This person, him and her, and him and her. And I'm like, dang, dude, they've accomplished way more than me. Why the freak am I speaking at this? It's a true story. Yeah. I worked out twice that day because I had so many nerves. I barely ate. I ate one small piece of grilled chicken the entire day because I'm like, I'm not feeling great. I'm telling Lauren, like, why the heck am I speaking at this? Like, I'm overthinking it.
I don't know if I've ever seen you like that.
Yeah, but it was true. And if you'd have been with me, and the old Cody would have never said that live on camera. Dude, I think you should be honest about stuff. And we all go through those kind of things. I was worried about speaking there. And the cool thing is with the Statler, that should have helped me. Maybe it did a little bit.
That's home.
It's exactly home. I'm at home field advantage, right?
Yeah.
I walk out and speak. And guess, a couple minutes in, I notice someone sitting in the third row by the name of Ping Jun. Ping has about 900,000 followers on Instagram. Ping has big YouTube following. Ping has built a 8-figure, $10 million plus business. I watched a video of Ping back in 2019 on YouTube. And I watched this video and he talked about doing small in-person events and how that can build new relationships and new access and new clients and you can build a brand. I did a 16-city tour in 2019 for free because I watched a Ping Jun video. So I stopped in the middle of my talk, ADHD moment, and said, Ping, dude, you don't know who I am until maybe now. Most of the audience didn't. I said, but man, dude, it was cool to highlight him in front of the group, but I said, man, dude, you don't know how much your content and video meant to me back in 2019. You're a special dude. You've helped Cody Askins far more than you would ever know. Dude, I love you. I appreciate the heck out of you. Ping, you're freaking amazing. Thanks for all you've done.
Wow.
In front of 1,000 people, I stopped and highlighted him. And guess who came up and gave me a hug after?
Well, it's a weird story if it's not him.
Yeah, Ping Jun. And he said, Cody, you don't realize this. He said, but I stopped doing as much content. I've stopped being in the game as much. I haven't put up a YouTube video in almost a year. He said, my dad died. And I have let it affect me so much. And he's the most important person in my life. And it's been a struggle and all these things. He said, your talk inspired me. He said, because if I've helped you, think about all the people that I've helped that I stopped helping.
Wow.
Think about all the people that I've helped that I could have been helping more people along the way. I was nervous to speak. I shared a story of how someone helped me because I found them on social. it inspired someone that helped me to go start inspiring more people. I don't get the stage opportunity if I don't get outside my comfort zone and start posting on social. It all related to us doing content. That's where everything started.
Wow.
I want to inspire people to finally get outside your comfort zone, to finally do some content, to finally, because most people, they don't do content because they're worried about people, what people think or how they look. It's selfish.
Wow.
You have the ability to help so many people. Like this dude, I got a message a couple weeks ago when I was in LA at 7:36 in the morning. And my team said, there's a message in your Instagram that you have to read. I'm like, okay. So I went and read it. And there was an agent that was really struggling and was contemplating taking their own life.
Yeah.
Dallas found out really quick. And he called the person within minutes. Most people wouldn't have stopped and called a random person across the world that they don't really know. I charge $5,000 an hour for coaching. I don't want to call everyone.
Right.
But the human thing is to respond no matter what you're doing and help someone. That's what I love about Dallas freaking Keithley.
Thank you, man.
Not only because he has the same middle name as me, but the dude will go above and beyond and call someone who is struggling and will help someone change a flat tire in the middle of the night because that's the type of human being he is.
Thank you.
And that's why I love Dallas Keithley.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, the business that we're in, I as I go around, I speak and stuff like that. I always ask people, how many in here growing up, you're like, I want to be an insurance agent. And there's maybe been one. I think Matt Evans has his degree in insurance. Other than that, I don't know of anybody.
Yeah.
Right. But then I ask him, how many people in here grew up wanting to be a police officer, a nurse, a doctor? All of those, I list a whole list of occupations, and they all have one thing in common. Mm-hmm. It's helping people. And to go back to what you said, we are in this business, most of us are in this business to help people. But a lot of times we forget that. We forget to make the main thing the main thing. We start concentrating on something else. And then we wake up going, I don't like what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like this. It's not fun. It's not, we got to go back and make the main thing the main thing. And I think that.
I went through that last year.
Yeah.
I stopped having fun.
Yeah.
I forgot why I started doing YouTube videos to begin with, you know? And Lauren had to say,
that's dangerous, man.
It's so freaking dangerous, bro. Like I because of all the things we were going through, the business felling, the marketing company felling, buying a partner out for $1.25 million. My mom going through cancer for the third time. Lauren's father's going through cancer last year with prostate cancer, right? Our business had a negative $107,000 in one of our business bank accounts almost a year ago to the date. It was October of 2023. Like it was wrecking our finances, destroying our business. It was killing my confidence. It's taught me to remember why I do what I do, because I would be unhappy and pissed off and all the stuff. And Lauren would be like, dude, do you see what we've built? Do you see how many people you get to help? She said, why don't you just get back to having fun again? And I'm working harder than I've ever worked, but I'm having so much fun again because I'm back to worrying about helping people and not worried about, selling everybody something every 4 seconds and trying to outpace this huge burden, this huge rock that's rolling down the hill. At the end of the day, that's what matters. And I think that's why Ashley in North Carolina felt like, I don't think it was the money. I think she felt like she was not helping as many people as she could.
Yeah. When you're not fulfilling your purpose, that's when it sucks. And
yeah, man.
We had Rocky on yesterday and he talked about how he always asks people, what do you want? And they always respond with the money. I want $100,000. No, you don't. The money is never the answer. It's a means to an end.
Yeah.
Right?
Because when you get it.
Yeah. Now what? Exactly. So let's wrap it all up. Let's go back. Okay. So one thing I wrote down here that we didn't even talk about is, and you kind of hinted at it in the beginning, is when you say I've hit my ceiling, I think the first thing you have to do is ask yourself, have I really hit my ceiling? Am I at the point where I need to expand? I think most people probably aren't.
No.
But
I don't think anybody is.
There's some things you could fine tune. We've got Rusty Knoll. Dude's a beast. He's on the podcast later today, actually. He hired his daughter because he felt like he was at a ceiling.
He struggled with number one.
Yep, time.
More than anybody I know.
Absolutely. And listen, when I say this, nobody works harder than Rusty. Like
1,000%. I do not work as hard as Rusty, no.
But his ceiling, he wasn't at his ceiling. He hired his daughter, and his daughter's like, hey, what if we tweak this? And what if we do this? And what if we tweak this over here? Now you have more time. So now the ceiling just raised.
New blood.
Exactly.
New information. Totally new ball game.
Right. So number one, are you at your ceiling? Number two, humble yourself. Start looking to other people, what they're doing, and then start implementing some things and hire people that are better than you at something.
Yeah.
Right. Reach out to them and then do it. Number three, do something new. Never stop growing. I think a lot of times we sometimes think, okay, I'm going to work in business and I'm going to get to a point where I achieve.
I just make money forever and I can sit back and do nothing.
I have reached the top. There is no top. Now, I think there is something to being satisfied.
Yeah.
And that's a thin line.
It's tough.
Being satisfied, but also wanting to grow.
I've struggled with that more than anything else.
Dan Chernati is somebody that I've talked to a lot about that. Dude has said, okay, look, I want to make this much and that's all I want to make. You know, he's content.
Yeah.
And then lastly, just learning from others and remembering why you do what you do.
Yes.
Just make sure you're having fun.
Yeah.
Make sure you're enjoying. Is every day fun? Freak no. But the big picture is fun.
True.
The big thing's fun.
I'll add one more thing. When you are going through a lot of struggle, trials, tribulations, all this stuff, you have a tendency to create a cap. You have a tendency to lower the bar. You have a tendency to start doubting yourself. And it does not have to be that way. It doesn't. Yeah. And you should never make big life-altering decisions when you're at your lowest point.
Exactly.
You just shouldn't.
At those points, my wife is good about this. She'll sit there and say, hey, what are we supposed to be learning right now? Stop trying to make decisions. Stop trying to make it better. Stop trying to fix everything and just step back and think, I'm supposed to be learning something.
Yeah.
What is it? Right?
It's good.
And then you go. Awesome. Good stuff, man.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate you coming on. This was good. This was fun.
Good to be back.
Absolutely. Guys, we appreciate y'all watching. Thank you for all that you do. Please keep commenting. Let us know who you want to see in that very uncomfortable chair over there, as Cody pointed out pre-show. It's not the topics, it's the chair itself. Sometimes the topics can get you uncomfortable.
The chair sucks.
We want you in that chair if you've got something to give to the rest of the world. Please like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Share. You could help somebody like we just talked about by sharing this podcast, by sharing this episode. There's somebody out there that can use something that you didn't even realize was said. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Cody, Celine, Adam, doing a great job back there. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next time on the Medicare Sales Playbook.